And here we are on the B button yet again for episode 4, rock and roll. This baby is rolling. I'm feeling this at the moment. I'm really feeling it. So, joining me, as always, my compadre in arms, my brother from another mother, the one and only Angry Link. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good.
Cool. And this week, debuting for the first time on our podcast, we've got the Red-Eyed Jedi. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not bad.
Wow, breaking your podcast cherry. How does it feel?
Tight.
Tight like a tiger. Cool. So a little bit of background on who Jedi is. We've been gaming with Jedi for years now. Fair few years.
Yeah, I would say so.
Jedi is known to me as a bit of a Gears of War guru, really. You're fond of your Gears, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, just a little bit. Since 2006, it's been quite a large part of my life.
Yeah. If there's anybody you want to hear on the headset going cutting his way through like enemies, it's Jedi. So Jedi, a little bit of background on yourself. What other sort of games? Where did you start? What was your first console?
First console was a Master System. I was a ZX Spectrum gamer before that, going down buying the old cassettes from the music store.
Buy a pack of spares.
Yeah, too, right. And then moved on to a Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. Went to a Jaguar. Big mistake. I swapped my Super Famicom at the time. I had a lot of import games. I was big on getting them early, and I swapped it all for a Jaguar with Cybermorph. Which, if anyone can remember, Cybermorph was not the best game for the ones I got rid of. Then went on to a Sega Saturn. That was big for years and years and years because it got all the Street Fighter games on it.
At least it improved.
Yeah, it did get better. PS1.
So PS1, PlayStation 2, all that jazz.
Yeah, still got a massive PS2 collection.
What pushed you over to Xbox?
Gears of War. It was Gears of War. It got to the end of the cycle and Xbox 360 came out. Didn't think much of it. Gears of War came out and I was next day went and bought it. Got online and never
online
stopped.
Gaming, that was it. Cool.
Yeah,
Cool. So this week, what we've been doing gaming wise, Link, what have you been on?
Just a bit GTA, really.
Yeah.
Again, same old.
It's been double XP, double cash, double RP.
Yeah, that's again. Whenever you get the new bits and bobs out, it's just jump on there. Like you say, it's cheaper to do stuff and you earn a lot more.
New Roosevelt.
It's again Philo some rubbish. An extra 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, made me trade in my Roosevelt and buy a new one. Yeah.
Well, at least they're going to stay there permanently now, so it's not going to be just over Valentine's.
Yeah, I re-pimped mine, looked at it the other day and just thought, that looks like a piece of shit. Change that one up. Anything else or just GTA?
Just a bit GTA, really. Just been catching up on some game shows more than anything.
That game is the Phoenix. It just keeps coming back. What about you, Jedi? What have you been up to this week, game-wise?
Gears of War, obviously.
Of course.
Bit of Mortal Kombat and Unraveled. Which I'm really liking. It is cool. It grabbed me as soon as I turned it on. It looks beautiful. Like I say, it's kind of like Limbo, sort of, physics based.
Yeah.
Just a nice game. It's a surprise, cheap as well.
The thing is when I saw it, I was hovering over the buy button for ages, and I was sitting there thinking, do I want to be playing a puzzle game right now? And it looked amazing. I actually really felt for. I saw it was at E3 where the guy came up and did the presentation, and he looked a bit nervous, and I kind of thought, I kind of felt from a bit. It was obviously a really heartfelt game that he's made. Apparently the storyline is like spot on.
Well, it's all unspoken. It's kind of a cute game. For me, it's a late night game. I'm all gearsed out. And
chill down.
It's like a Walking Dead Telltale game or something. You can't really be asked, but you're going to play anyway. So.
Flower was like that. I had that come out. I bought that at the same time as I bought Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So you'd put
that extra couple of hours at the end of the night where you just want to push on. You're like, I'll just put something that's a bit less taxing.
Cool. Yeah. So me, this week, it's all been about Just Cause 3. And I'm proud to say, and this is going out to all of our listeners, I'm putting a challenge out there right now. I'm currently ranked in the parachute. So you pull out the parachute and you've got the hook that you can pull yourself up. Yeah. I'm currently ranked number 1 in the world. Yeah, boy, for the highest parachute climb using the hook in one parachute jump. Yeah. The challenge is out there. I know that Crowman, who was on last week, he's a massive Just Cause fan. I've put the challenge out there. You ain't got a fucking chance. I'm telling you right now, Crowman, it's going out to you. What are you going to do about it? The challenge is set. But yeah, get on that game. When I first started playing it, I was like, controls aren't that great, doesn't look that good. Then you just get into that. It's a huge map and there's lots of shit to blow up. Gone, sold.
And they love their explosions.
They love their explosions. And also, you sent me that amazing video of like people attaching hooks to limbs of people, stretching them out, then attaching rockets to their vaginas. And just firing people off into space. I got to a bit where there was like a cow sat next to me. I attached like 4 rockets to his ass and just watch the thing go off into the background. Amazing. Anyway, we digress. We're going to move this bad boy on and hit our Bullet Bill's Big 3. Boom, boom, boom. Bullet Bill's Big 3. Yeah, it's our news cut. And here we go. So, Link, what we got for our first bullet hole of the week?
We've seen a new adventure into the game development scene this week.
Oh, right.
Surprising one.
A new party has entered the scene, have they?
Yeah. It's nothing sensational in the sense that there's going to be making a new console or anything.
Oh, is it a big company?
It's massive.
Oh, okay. Who is it?
It's the FBI.
What, as in the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
The Feds. The Fuzz. They have entered the game development scene.
Is it sort of a GTA style?
Well, it's a Flash game.
Oh, okay.
Is being released as part of their Don't Be a Public programme.
Right, okay. And what's it called?
Well, it's a little wonderful game called Slippery Slope.
Nice touch, guys. Nice touch.
And here is the blurb from the website.
Please.
Follow the distorted logic of blame that can lead a person to violent extremism.
They're serious.
Straight up. Yep.
So, what's the lead character?
It's a goat.
A goat?
Yeah, called Snooky Pucks.
Oh, fuck off.
I kid you not. I may have mispronounced that or may have got it wrong, but it's just as stupid. It's not far off.
That's dreadful.
So as a goat, what do you have to do?
Avoid coloured blocks with a horrendously bad control scheme.
Wow, that sounds incredibly racially charged.
Well, obviously it was picked up on this story. I think it was Tuesday. Sort of had a little read on it. It was picked up on Verge, and then 2 days later there was another responding article saying, "Oh, you should never play the FBI's extremism game."
Right.
It's just horrendous.
So they're trying to turn people into extremists or not? I don't understand the premise.
Well, this is the problem that the guy that played it had. He's like, so if I don't win, will I fall into the deadly path of extremism? he didn't quite get
that shit.
He's like, oh no, I can't avoid the slippery slope.
That's fucking appalling. I mean, I'm not being funny, but that's not how you educate kids.
Well, not with bad games, because again, like, I'm not being horrible. It's something. I'm not joking. I think I could within about 20 minutes knock something up of equal or if not better standard. Obviously, from my podcast last week, obviously I am now a game developer.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Okay.
Horrendous.
That's appalling. I think we should swiftly move on to our next bullet hole. And our next bullet hole for this week is Red Dead Redemption.
Have you enjoyed it?
It's a fail. It's an epic fail. So after we were all hyper excited last week and talked about, yes,
we've got it working. We've done the acid test.
Yeah, we've done the acid test up until the point where I try to play it
and update it.
Yeah. So you try and play it and it goes update failed, and also it froze my Xbox as well. So, so they proper fucked me. So it doesn't work, folks. Apparently, I mean, what did they say?
Well, obviously. Was it Larry? Is it Herb or Hrib?
Mm-hmm.
Or Major Nelson? He come on and is it Monday and said, "Yeah, sorry guys, we were testing. We didn't mean to do it.
Testing. But either which way, you know it's coming. And also, more to the point, you definitely know it's coming because what happened to the pricing, Blake?
Yeah, $26.99 on Xbox 360 now.
So they just basically bumped it up.
Yep.
Brilliant.
On sale a couple of months ago for about £6, I think.
Lovely.
Missed that one.
Bastards. So there's just a general rule of thumb now that if you want any game that is going to be backwards compatible,
look for the expensive ones.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the ones which are coming out. Yeah, cool. So third bullet hole for this week. What we got, Link?
So I was really excited by when I saw it was Knights and Bikes was a game that was announced last week from a few Media Molecule devs that formed their own studio called Foam Sword, which awesome.
Okay.
But they've announced this week that it's coming to PS4. Now, this is a co-op RPG in the vein of stuff like Earthbound and Secret of Mana. So it's an action RPG, but it's inspired, like story-wise, by the Goonies. So obviously that instantly piqued my interest in the sense that, I mean, it's a genre of games like I absolutely adore. Like Secret of Mana was brilliant when it came out, and still to this day I think I'd quite happily pay for it again. And the Goonies, I mean, when I remember seeing that, who didn't want to be a Goonie when they were a kid?
I must admit,
and go on an adventure to find a pirate ship full of gold.
I just want to be Data. I want to be the kid with all the gadgets.
Still do.
Yeah. But art style wise, it's very sort of tearaway, isn't it?
Yeah, so obviously it's exactly the sense of, like, it's a top-down RPG, action RPG, like the old school variety. But with a really modern art style. Well, obviously not a modern art style, but sort of quite nice visuals. It's a pleasing art style. I like it. Yeah, no,
Jedi, that art style really doesn't do it for you, does it?
No. We're at a point now where everything can look so nice, so why shouldn't it? I mean, I say that Unravel that I put on the other day, it's beautiful looking. It's very simple. It can't have been that hard to do, but
yeah.
I mean, I know it's stylised, so it's hard to say that it's bad graphics, but I'd prefer something to, I don't know,
have a bit of a pop to it.
I like a bit of polish.
When they started doing like cell shading and stuff like that in games, I was all over that. I absolutely loved it. And then they kind of overcooked it a bit. Yeah. And when they start doing sort of simplistic graphics, I'm doing air quotes here, but you can't see that on the podcast. But when they do like sort of simplistic graphics, but they actually do them like in a clever way, like tearing paper and all that sort of stuff. They do it well, fair enough. But like Paper Mario's been out for ages now. I'm kind of
what's that one on the PSP? The blobs, Loco Rocco.
Yeah.
That was simple. That looked lovely. That game,
and had amazing music done.
The children singing.
If that's what does it for you, but yeah,
that was a freaky soundtrack on that game, man.
Yeah. Cool. So have they? So it's a Kickstarter project.
It is. Yeah,
have they hit their target yet?
Well, as of earlier today, had a look, and they were just short of 62k, £62,000 of the proposed 100,000 they need.
They were short by that?
No, they need 38.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's running till March the 3rd, so there's still a couple of weeks left to get in on it.
Chuck some cash in, people. Speak with your wallets.
But yeah, £12 gets you a digital copy of the game for the PC, and I think it's £17 gets you a copy for the PS4.
Right.
Which it'll probably be about that sort of
Thank
price
you,
at the time.
Sony.
But yeah, if they obviously get funded, they're looking at April 2017. So about a year away.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it looks interesting, man. I mean, you know,
I am really intrigued. I love the idea of it's a co-op RPG, and you're riding around on your bike, and you've got a pet goose, and you can attack people with frisbees.
What more do you need? What more do you need?
Splash them with mud. It's brilliant.
Cool. Right. So that's our bullet holes for this week. We're going to bust over to our
What's the Beef?
Thank you, Chief. Whammy. What is the beef, Chief? Our beef bashing ceremony. This is a bit basically where we get our huge chunks of beefy vent and vexation and frustration and lay it out on that table and smash the shit out of it. And Link, I'm going to let you bring this one in because I'm keeping cool. What we got for What's the Beef?
Well, as you know from last week, we had a little discussion about the Homefront beta coming out. I was kind of excited for it.
Yes.
Went and downloaded it and got ready, and then I thought it was Friday it started, but it was in fact Thursday, so it was last night.
Yeah.
We jumped straight on it, and what was your first words, Mark, when I spoke to you in the party?
It's Yes.
This is getting 5 minutes more of my time before it's getting fucking deleted.
Yeah, I think the way I summed it up was my thoughts on this game can be summarised with one word, and it starts with S and ends in hit. It's fucking appalling, man. I mean, honestly, as gamers, we all have a feel, like a taste in gaming. We know when something's good. And I've got more taste in my penis than what's happening in that game. I mean, it is just dreadful. I mean, let's hit the hit list, shall we? Because I want to. Let's talk about graphics. So it looks like a shit indie game, which is really dark and grungy and horrible.
Surprising from the CryEngine, because you see some really pretty games in that normally.
When they said powered by CryEngine, what bit? The loading screen? Honestly, fucking appalling. Gameplay, I mean, janky. Bullets were just had no real impact. Trying to lock onto an enemy was just a fucking nightmare. You can hardly see them. Just horrible. I mean, what was the bit you were wrestling with a bit of concrete?
Oh yeah. It was something that's got a slope so you can walk up it, but somehow that last foot I can't climb over it or walk over it or even indeed crawl or get off of it. And it's frustrating.
Horrible. I spent, I played it 3 or 4 rounds, and just every time you just had players walking around not having a fucking clue what they could do. You spend most of your time just trying to run around buildings and hide from stuff. You can't really get into any decent firefights if you do. If you're not
just one of those Goliath turns up and just completely ganks you.
Absolutely dicks you. I mean, character choice right at the beginning of the game. You get to choose your character, and there's 8 or 9 different characters you can choose from. Baseball player, he's got a great throwing arm for throwing grenades. Great, why do I give a shit? None of them really popped out to me as anything I really wanted to play. It was just, I just didn't give a shit about any of it. Storyline, well, there wasn't any.
It's the resistance mode.
Yeah, but you need something. There was literally none, absolutely none. You had your typical generic, do you want a Chinese guy? Do you want a black guy? Do you want a Caucasian guy?
Yeah, it was pretty lacklustre.
I mean, how much did Deep Silver pay for this from Crytek? I mean, I haven't got a clue, but god damn, you just think, why would you do that?
Well, it's been in development for 5 years, so you think the size of the team that would probably have worked on that, how much that's going to have cost them over the 5 years. Can we see them getting their money back?
No, well, not on that. I mean, we did a little bit of the whole, how much would you pay? And I said to you, £55? No. £40? No. £30? No. I said $26.99 because that was the price of Deadpool. Yeah. Would you pay that? No. What about if it was £8? Yeah, maybe. £5? Yeah, I'll do it for GG's or £5. So basically, between £8 to £5 is their sweet spot for selling that game. Fuck me, honestly. And I do wonder, when they were sitting there making it, I mean, the people, they don't want their names on the credits, do they?
No.
They don't want to be associated with that.
They obviously didn't play the first one.
Right. I mean, did you play the first one?
Yes, it was terrible.
The thing is, they had loads of good hype around it, didn't they? So it was multiplayer in a completely different light, wasn't it?
No, it was awful. I got stung £40 for that on the 360.
Did exactly the same thing. And
thankfully I got to play the beta.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, the one thing I'm really thankful for is they've done a beta for it, which allows me to know that I can immediately delete it from my hard drive and never look at anything to do with that game ever again.
I think I know how they're going to make their money on it.
Go on.
Well, what is it everybody had to do to get onto the beta?
Register our details.
Yeah, I reckon they'd ha ha ha.
Sell your email address.
Yeah, so when I start getting loads of car insurance shit coming through, hey, we understand you bought this really bad game. Want some insurance?
Would you want some insurance against it?
I mean, the one thing I don't understand with it is obviously they were making the game, they know what they've got. The people who are making games have experience in games, whether you like it or not. You can't make a game without having some sort of heritage in video gaming. Surely they must have thought, we should start again. No?
It kind of, it's one of those, I think, like with Duke Nukem Forever, it's sort of, that was never going to be anything other than finally we've released it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, please buy it because you've been waiting for it and we've released
10
it.
years, 11
Aliens,
years.
Colonial Marines. They still managed to release that.
I don't know how they got away with that. But the thing is
Lawsuit's still going on, I think.
but at least, like, with Duke Nukem and Aliens, both of them, they went, we're going to be really smart and we're going to embargo the shit out of this game.
But I finished both of those games. Thinking about it, I finished both of those games, and at the end I thought they were terrible, but I still played them through.
Yeah.
Homefront, the first one, and I'm sure this one, you just meh.
The thing is they're entering an arena which is really, really difficult to be successful in. It's first-person shooter arena, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to bring your A game, and they didn't even come to the game. They were like...
I think they've been smart in the sense that they're not going after the PvP. Because, again, you've got Destiny, you've got Battlefront, you've got COD.
Yeah.
There's, like, you've got 3 games that you will play before you ever play PvP on Homefront.
Yeah.
So I think they could do so. Like I say, I don't know how the story's going to pan out and how that's going to work, because if it's anything like the obviously the beta that we played, then yeah, I'm kind of worried for Dambusters.
It's just going to have Red Dawn again, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a case of the old 583 squadron's going to be flying in soon, ready with those bouncers.
Yeah, I just don't understand how. I mean, it was one of the most valuable IPs that DHQ had to sell. It was that and Darksiders 2, wasn't it? With like the 2 biggies, and it's gone from, as we discussed last week, from hand to hand to hand to hand from different companies. They must have known what they were buying. They must have known what they were buying.
Well, I think though that it stayed at the same studio. It's just that the studio's changed hands.
Oh, so basically they were like, what's going on behind those doors, guys? A great video game? Okay.
Can we see?
No. It'll be ready next week.
Don't make me bust this door down.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, for me, just generally, there should be a general rule of thumb whenever you're doing this. Is you're buying a valuable IP. Obviously, you want it to have some longevity. Yeah, you want there to be a Homefront 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. You can't come out the gate with a piece of shit like that.
No.
I don't know. I don't get it. So, I mean, my final thought on this, because I'm, let's be honest, it's just going to be another 10 minutes of me sitting there going, "Let's go this shit."
Yeah.
It's got to be, don't play it, don't buy it, run for the hills, do anything that you can, save your money.
It's definitely not going to be a Mad Max then.
No. Oh yeah.
That's the point. Actually, you're still owed an eating of a hat.
Yeah, I did get that horribly wrong with Mad Max. I basically said, if this game's any good, I eat my hat, and then it was amazing. Cool. All right, so let's
better.
Yeah, I feel better. I feel like I got a little bit off my chest. Can I just say shit? There we go. I've got it off my chest. It's out there. Done. Cool. Let's move this bad boy on. We're going to hit our uncharted territory. And uncharted territory. I always try and bring it in smoothly because it's our thoughtful and our conceptive piece, our cogitation.
Down.
Yes. We've released, we've vented, and now we're going to explore the joyful parts of video gaming. So, Link, what have we got for uncharted territory this week?
Well, I had a great little thought the other day. There's some really good games that I'd like to see remade, or the ones that hadn't been made, like IPs that could be made, that I think would be really good. Yeah,
especially for us older gamers who've lived back in the console, Mega Drive, SNES, NES, sort of Master System days. There's loads out there. So, hitting the first list, and Blake, over to you, my man. What you got?
Virtual Cop.
Woo-hoo.
Virtual Cop. Well, not necessarily Virtual Cop, Time Cop, anything that involves a light gun. We've lost light guns. We've got massive TVs now.
Yeah.
And we've lost light guns. What happened to them? They were so much fun with a little clicky bit on the top and the pedal.
Yeah, we got some force feedback handguns.
This is it. You feel like a badass when you're playing Guitar Hero. You buy yourself for that. When I was a kid playing Virtual Cop, it was amazing. We played it on a little 28-inch telly. And it was just
magical.
Yeah. You got a gun. It's a gun, isn't it?
The thing is, we're happy to fill our living room full of plastic guitars, and all other sorts of peripherals. So what happened to the guns?
I think the Wii killed it off, really, didn't it? In the sense that for the need for the peripheral.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because obviously we've got Kinect for Xbox. You could sit there, like you were saying earlier, with your finger, give it a little pop, 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 pop.
Phrasing, boom.
Yeah.
Finger bang.
Every night.
But yeah, I mean,
finger bang and it's all right.
But the thing is like Time Crisis was the one for me.
Yeah.
You know, House of the Dead.
House of the Dead, lovely.
What
Do you remember Keyboard of the Dead or Typing of the Dead?
Yeah.
No.
Die Hard 3. Well, no.
Die Hard 3, yeah.
Was it Die Hard 3?
Yeah.
What was it? No, Die Hard Trilogy, wasn't it?
That was it.
Called. Yeah,
because Die Hard 2 was the light gun
shooty one. Yeah.
That came out at Christmas, and I just didn't speak to my family for the whole of Christmas. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah, and it was compatible with the was it the G-Con?
Yeah, it'd have been the original
I've
G-Con.
still got a G-Con.
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, sorely missed. So, what other hot titles?
Another Alien vs Predator game. They got to get it right. They did it right in a Jaguar, and that was in 90. I don't know. 90.
It'd have been 94, 95?
Something like that. 93, 94.
On the Jaguar.
On the Jaguar.
Only you would have known.
The Atari.
But it was such a good game.
That when you saw that running, it was sort of like that. Bam! I need a Jaguar.
Well, this is it.
All logic is telling me to just walk away.
It was the only good game on a Jaguar, really, in my opinion.
Well,
so, hold on, what style was it? Because not having a Jaguar, I never owned one.
It was very similar to the PC version.
First-person shooter.
Yeah, first-person. You've got all three characters. You can be a marine, a predator, or an alien. But it was just well ahead of its time for consoles, anyway.
Yeah.
And all the respective games have been a bit
shit.
Shit. Well, AVP wasn't bad on the 360. I didn't mind that
one.
I quite liked it, but it's not there yet. Well, they need to capture it. I mean, Alien Isolation would be a good place to start if you put a load of guns in it and everything, because the atmosphere is.
I was going to say, Alien Isolation is Alien the game, basically. Now we need Aliens the game.
Yeah, they tried it and failed horribly, as we said before. But
yeah, I mean, if you can get that whole sort of boom, boom,
capture it. They need to get it. They got it on Alien Isolation, so why can't they do it on a shooter?
Yeah, they got the sounds right, they got the feel of it right.
This is it.
And this was from a company that's made real-time strategy games for like the last 15 years.
Yeah.
So if someone like Gearbox, admittedly they outsourced a lot of it, can't get Colonial Marines right, what hope is there?
Yeah. So what else have you got for us, Jedi?
Top-down shooters. I know there's a lot of them around, but I loved Rambo 3 and I loved Predator 2, both on the Mega Drive.
So when you say top-down shooter, you're talking like Ikaruga sort of style?
Smash TV.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Like you say, you were saying Chaos Engine as well. That one was blinding.
Man, Chaos Engine, Cannon Fodder.
Do you remember the music and the sound effects on that? It was blinding.
Yeah, well, with everything going backwards compatible now, I think we should have access to these libraries, because everyone's paying it for free anyway, on emulators, so I don't see why they don't try and make a little
it's licensing a lot of the time though, isn't it? It's who owns the IPs.
But the other thing is with those sorts of games is, they don't have to be graphically ridiculous. I mean, I thought about Diablo. Diablo's an amazing game, absolutely amazing. It's really simplistic in its graphics. There's lots going on the screen, runs really great. Make it happen.
Yeah. Like you say, the actual polygon and the texturing's quite basic. But obviously all the effects and the particle effects are just really good, aren't they? But it is, I think, even if it's a case of just a reskin, for something like Chaos Engine, if you just brought it up so it was more of a comic book style, but it played exactly the same, I'd quite happily put some money down for that.
Yeah.
Because that was one of my favourite Amiga games of all time.
Yeah.
Classic.
Jedi anymore?
They need to... not a specific game, but I want them to try again with like the style of Mortal Kombat's. The originals where they've got the realistic looking people.
The realistic sprites.
Yeah, why can't we try and do something like that modern now? Because surely it'd be kick ass. Surely we could do something a little bit, even if it's just a fighter, it might be a little bit too graphic, but
I think you need to get yourself onto Steam. I think that you'll probably find that there is stuff out there like that. Yeah,
but the thing is like when they released Mortal Kombat 9, and it had like not the finishing moves. What's the moves in between? Where
X-ray.
Those are brutal. It's like had that sniper sort of thing, where you actually saw inside. bones break, limbs pop, blood comes spewing out, and even then, when we watched that, we're like, "Oh shit, that is brutal."
This is after 7 Saw films.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine, if they did that now, they'd probably never get out the door, would they?
Oh, yeah, but surely,
like a liver hitting you on the front of the screen. You're like, "Oh my god!"
It could be something beautiful. Just a thought.
Cool. Link, what have you got for us?
My first one that I think out of all of them, that's got to be the top one is Beautiful Joe, HD remaster.
Are you sporting a chubby every time you say
I love this game. But again, you loved your old scroll and beat 'em ups, and this was, I think, it took the scroll and beat 'em up and just put a couple of little twists with the mechanics. Like there was a really cool slow down, speed up time mechanic. There was like upgradable move sets.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the only game that I've played. Well, one of the few games that I've played through loads and loads and replayed it a lot.
Why is that IP just fallen into the ether?
Well, I think it's one of those that it never really gained the popularity over here that it needed to sort of sustain it financially. I mean, it spawned a sequel. Then there was one on the PSP, and they even did a Double Trouble on the DS. So and even an anime in Japan.
They do one on the 360 arcade? Or
no, I don't think it ever did come to 360.
This Nintendo.
Well, it was because obviously it was originally a Nintendo exclusive. It was developed by Capcom, or published by Capcom, but developed by a studio called Clover, which was made up of about 4 or 5 people that split off from one of the bigger Capcom studios. But yeah, released way back in 2003.
Damn.
But it just took it was a really good art style.
Yeah, I was going to say,
the story was really good. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
It really did. I've got loads and loads of artwork of it on my computer still. It's that good.
Every night, 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, it's just before bed.
So what else we got?
Sword of Mana.
Whoa, that's
this was a game that released in Japan originally on the first Game Boy, the old monochrome Boy. But then they remade it for the Game Boy Advance, and that's when I got it. And that's again back in 2003. I mean, it was like you say, like Secret of Mana. It's an action RPG with the same wheel, and it plays exactly the same as Mana. But there was this just amazing skill system and job system and class system that you couldn't just pick your class and then you'd get your buffs. You'd actually have to work and train with certain weapons. So say you wanted to, like Ninja was one of the last classes that I'd got and found out, and you'd have to use the flail and collect certain things and have certain upgrades done. And I just loved it. I went through and played through with every different class and found all of the classes on it.
But that's it, isn't it? It's those games which make you want to just develop that character, grow it out a bit more, and actually really get stuck into it.
Once you finish it, it's to go start again.
Yeah, dangerous.
I think that is possibly my most played Game Boy game I've ever. I think I went through that and completed it 15 times.
Damn.
And I've never done that with a game ever.
Wow. Cool. Anything else?
Yeah, cannon fodder. I'd like to see this back.
Yeah, man.
Big way. Obviously, John O'Hare, or John Hare. I don't know if it's O'Hare. I can't think, but when you hear Hare, I think Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, he's going to be John O'Hare. Obviously, this is the Sensible Software classic.
Yeah.
So it's very much in the same visual style as Sensi Soccer, but again with army guys and a team of 4. Go in, it's the point and with the mouse.
So that is a game that does need a mouse though. They have it on Super Nintendo and the port was
again, I had it on the Amiga, so I had that mouse.
Yeah.
Again, but mobile.
But what is it about people remaking these games and just going, I'll just Double Dragon, they did that recently.
It's poor, wasn't it? It's appalling.
It's like you're not taking anything from what we loved about the game, you're just trying to remake it and you're doing a pretty shit job of it.
Yeah, for it to be so clunky. I can't expect that the gameplay's going to stand up as much as I'm being nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be very much a pick up and play, put down. Like I say, I think Cannon Fodder would be perfect for mobile.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It almost seems that they just can't be asked. They just think, we'll just chuck any old tosh out and they'll buy it up like suckers.
Yeah.
Nostalgia's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, isn't it? Just never meet your heroes. So, anything else for us?
This is one that I wish they would make. I mean, it's a TV show that I absolutely adore. I mean, I think it's prime for a game, and that's Archer.
Yeah, we constantly pepper our podcast with phrasing.
Exactly. Yeah. Boom. Indeed.
What genre of game?
Well, this is the thing. I think it could work as sort of like a Telltale style game.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're brilliant at delivering story, and again, with the choice consequence and how your actions affect it later on, or even something like Stick of Truth. I think it would work really well. There's sort of almost like combat-wise, it's almost turn-based, but there are sections where it is sort of one-to-one. Real time. That's the one I'm looking for. Nice. But I mean, like you say, it would be brilliant art style. I really love how the cartoon looks.
They could look exactly the same, couldn't it?
Exactly.
Cell shaded, it'd be.
I mean, amazing. You've got the humour's brilliant, and the cast is amazing. I mean, just think of some of the side quests with Krieger. In the van.
The Rush vans.
The many Rush vans. But I think if I could see at least 2 of those games pop out, I'd be really happy. Any 2.
I noticed you've got one scribbled away at the bottom of your page as well.
Second Samurai.
Yeah, man.
That's again. This is one that is very much, I think, rose tinted.
Yeah.
But I just remember playing it on my Amiga, and you would start off and you wouldn't have your sword, and then once you eventually got it, and you were so OP. Then you just storming and hacking and slashing, and obviously I was playing a cracked version on the Amiga, so it was infinite this, that and the other, so you'd never die. I don't know actually how difficult a game it was. But I absolutely adored that.
Yeah, man, some great games. For me, there's anybody want to guess what my first one's going to be?
I could just look over at your sheet.
It's Streets of Rage.
Oh, of course.
It's Streets of Rage. Two, any of them. I mean, they did Streets of Rage remake, or at least somebody did it, and they quickly got shut down as they were in the process of doing it.
They have re-released 2 on the 3DS, and they've done a bang-up job of it as well.
Yeah, so they've re-released this a couple of times. You can buy it on Xbox Arcade. They've done a collection. You can play the Japanese versions where you get to see more titties and more legs, and there's a
looking free with the leather
the wholly inappropriately like homophobic character as well. But I mean, it's just an amazing game. They have not done a solid scrolling beat 'em up. We've seen attempts at it, Dragon's Crown, I think, on the PSP.
Again, we're talking about inappropriate
Vita, I should say. That was amazing. Just bouncing.
They're all childish now, though. These art styles coming out. There's nothing.
Vanillaware. They're the ones that are only really doing solid scroll and beat 'em ups. I think Muramasa was the last decent looking one. Because that looks phenomenal. I mean, that's just basically it's just a running painting.
Well, Dragon's Crown was after Muramasa, but they're just visual feasts, both of them. But I mean, for example, silly things like Streets of Rage, you could do your little combos, you could hold down the button to charge to do like the last hit of the combo, you could punch behind you could walk into people and grab them, and then there's different combos when you grabbed them, or jump behind them, different moves. You could even take your teammates and throw them at each other, and they don't go to that level of depth anymore.
It was like Alien vs Predator had the same sort of thing. The arcade version, that was the combos.
Final Fight.
Final Fight 3. Super moves and everything.
So I don't know why they don't do it. The other ones that I really, really want to see, and I'm sort of putting these two together because they're both sort of treasure, is Sin and Punishment.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Which was just the most fucking rock solid, amazing game. They did one on the Wii, which was also amazing recently. I say recently. And Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah.
Gunstar Heroes, like combining like a flamethrower with a laser gun to get like a laser sword to like stop the bullets hitting you and shit like that. They're just amazing games.
Again, it's treasure and shoot 'em ups, isn't it? Again,
that one on backwards compatibility. Because that's on Xbox Arcade, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've already played it through and got all the achievements, rinsed it, absolutely rinsed it.
One left. I think it's killing the thing when you're on the mine carts and he's jumping from top to bottom. You've got to do that one.
Yeah, you got to do it. Also, Conker's Bad Fur Day. We've talked about it before, but that was like a game for adults, right? It was amazing. Battling the Almighty Pooh when he's chucking like bits of sweet corn at you. And
what was it? Was it that Project Spark, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were sort of teasing Conker and bits and bobs like that. I mean, has anyone seen anything come of that?
Not really. The original Xbox had Live and Reloaded.
Which was just the remake of the
N64.
Yeah, so
that was nice, but why they didn't put that in the rare replay is beyond.
Well, they put Conker's Bad Fur Day.
No, they put the old Super Nintendo version, didn't they?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. But yeah, another one is I'd like to see a few more like scrolling beat 'em ups, scrolling shooters like Probotector.
Oh yeah, the old Contras and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Contra 3, mind blowing.
Solid games, and like they were rock hard back in the day as well.
Do you remember on the PS2 they had a Contra game? Do you ever play that?
No.
Updated graphics, awesome. I've still got that home. It's a really good game. You should look that one up.
Yeah, because it had like you had FMVs and stuff, didn't you? The cutscenes. Oh my god, this blew my mind.
Yeah, well, it's
cutscenes
still
for Contra.
It was still 2D, but it was polished.
Saying that Probotector was Contra, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just renamed.
Japan was Probotector, and it was robots, and over here it was army dudes.
Yeah, and in the same guise also, Jedi. You mentioned this one earlier on. Sunset Riders.
Yeah.
Oh man, that game was amazing.
Yeah.
They were the Konami like golden years, weren't they? Because you had all stuff like with the scrolling beat 'em ups like Turtles and The Simpsons. And, like you say, their shooting ones were amazing as well.
Yeah.
But visually, they were like really rich in colour as well.
You had like some dinosaurs.
Yeah, Asterix.
I forget what it was called.
Bucky O'Hare.
Bucky O'Hare is another good one.
Just loads of
X-Men. Oh mate, the list goes on.
I've got a problem with X-Men.
do you know what? So, do you know what? I know where you're going to go with this. X-Men. So I remember going down to the arcades in. I won't say where, but just generally where we're based here in the south. There's a certain place which has got a tower and some water, and they have an arcade place there. And X-Men was in there. And it was also in at the cinemas, and I used to absolutely hammer this game. But when you actually play it now, it doesn't stack because it's just.
I put it on the 360 arcade. I was just like, really?
Oh yeah.
Simpsons. I played straight through that on the arcade. Enjoyed it the whole way.
Turtles is another one that still stands up.
Original Final Fight.
Yeah.
All of them. They're fine. I play main ones all the time. But that. Well, I don't know what's wrong with it. It's just awful.
It's just hammering a button, isn't it? And getting destroyed as well. There's not a great deal you can do about it.
With like you get Apocalypse at the end.
Yeah.
As you can tell, it's been a while since I played through it.
Been a while.
I don't think I ever made it to the end of that. I always got bored.
Did you guys ever play Story of Thor on the Mega Drive?
No. Very few.
Story of
Thor.
No.
Right, this is like it was a kind of a Zelda-esque style. You had like a gauntlet, collected different elemental powers. It was just a really solid game. It really flew under the radar when it first came out, but I spent ages on that game. Absolutely rinsed it, and they really nailed that sort of magic RPG sort of, top down.
I think there were some unbelievably good RPGs on the Mega Drive though, wasn't there? Was.
Without a doubt, that console had some serious life. Final thought for me on this one, it's got to be Desert Strike and Jungle Strike.
Yeah.
Those games just took up a lot of my time.
I mean, I think we're now, if they'd have made it say 5-6 years ago, it'd be this big elaborate 3D horrible monstrosity. But I think now where we are with the indie scene, and the fact that like you've got stuff like Not a Hero, and it looks like an 8-bit game. You could quite happily have just a good old isometric, like the old style. Doesn't have, but just think like with a really good animation set on it.
Do you know what? I used to spend like God knows how much time trying to rinse around the map and grab as much as I could before the fuel ran out.
Yeah,
that those little dot shots which are like, like oh my god!
The way you kick up the sand as well.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And do you know? I watched the intro just before the podcast, and that was a little bit dodgy. You had like some Saddam Hussein-esque character with some
generic Arabian.
Yeah, very, very like, ooh, I'm not sure if you get away with that anymore now. But yeah, amazing games. Right, so Link, final thoughts for the day. If out of all of your games that you've mentioned, and I know where you're going to go with this, but I'm going to ask the question, what's the one that you go for?
If I had to pick one, Archer.
Really? I thought you were going to go Beautiful Joe.
No, because I've still got that on the GameCube. I just need the GameCube.
So Archer.
Yeah.
Telltale style.
Or, like you say, or if not, like you say, the Stick of Truth, that kind of style. Because I think that it shows that you can take a show that is very simple and still make a solid looking game out of it, and solid, enjoyable, fun game. So I think that I would say that was my sort of big surprise. Well, it wasn't last year, it was the year before last, wasn't it? Stick of Truth. That was my big surprise. I absolutely adored that game.
Soon.
Yeah. That is due within the next financial year, so sometime after April and before next.
Nice. Cool. And Jedi, for you, if you could have just the one.
I want a gun. I want virtual cop. I want to shoot my screen.
You want to clack, clack,
I want
clack.
to put my big earphones on before the family gets up, and I want to sit down there like a badass shooting at my big TV.
Like you're thinking you're being all quiet, but all the clack, clack, clack is waking everyone up.
Yeah, this is it. Jumping around the room. I don't care if it's got a wire on it, whatever. I want a plastic gun back to shoot at my telly.
With
please.
force feedback.
With force feedback and a laser sight and
a little compression thing at the bottom so you can reload by
just
slamming the bottom.
kick-ass, the sort of thing you don't want anyone to catch you doing.
Yeah.
Like dives, the John Woo dives.
Guitar Hero.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Give it back.
Cool. Okay, well for me it's guess what? It's all about those side-scrolling beat-em-ups. It doesn't even need to be Streets of Rage. Just give me a solid,
decent,
really well done side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's just not going to happen, is it? I have to deal with that. Oh, and there we are, folks. So we're going to wrap up. Link, thanks for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure's mine.
Well, and it's a pleasure was ours to actually have you, Jedi. It's been good, buddy. How's your first delve into the gaming world?
Yes, alright.
Cool.
No, great fun.
Alright, so from Angry Link, it's...
Adios.
And from the Jedi, it's...
Goodbye.
Bye for now.